Hello and a very warm welcome. You are watching News 9. This is the AI Report, and on this show we tell you all that's happening in the world of artificial intelligence, all the trends, all the new deals, the new investments and everything else you need to know about how AI is shaping your lives and your future. First up, let's begin with a roundup of all that happened in the world of AI in the week gone by. Take a look.
From a major deal between Taiwan and the US to Grok getting Elon Musk's XAI in trouble, this is AI Weekly. Taiwan said it aims to become a close strategic partner with the US on AI. That after the two countries agreed a trade deal which cut tariffs on many of the tech powerhouses' exports. It means Taiwanese chip makers like TSMC will be charged a lower tariff on semiconductors. Their firms will also invest $250 billion in AI, semiconductors and energy in the US. Elon Musk's XAI imposed image editing restrictions on all users of its Grok AI chatbot. It said it introduced measures to stop Grok from allowing the editing of images of real people in revealing clothing. Global governments and regulators had cracked down on sexually explicit content recently made by Grok. Some, like the Philippines, blocked the chatbot, while others, like California, demanded the chatbot stop making sexualized images. OpenAI will start showing ads in ChatGPT to some US users. It's in an effort to drive revenue from the AI chatbot to fund the high costs of developing the technology. The firm said ads will be tested with users on the company's free tier and the lower-priced Go plan. Users on the more expensive tiers like Pro and Business won't have ads. Microsoft CEO Satya Nadella taught AI at the World Economic Forum in Davos. He said AI must deliver improvements people can feel in areas like health and education. Otherwise, it could risk losing public support for the energy needed to run it.
We as even a global community have to get to a point where we're using this to do something useful that changes the outcomes of people and communities and countries and industries, right? Otherwise, I don't think this makes much sense.
Detective Raven, I'm Judge Maddox.
And a new sci-fi thriller movie about AI starring Chris Pratt and Rebecca Ferguson premiered.
Hold on, just wait.
Mercy imagines a near future where the justice system is powered by AI and suspected criminals are presumed guilty unless they can prove their innocence. Ferguson plays an AI judge who mimics what it has seen and learned from humans.
I've never played artificial intelligence. I've never played a robot tapping in or AI tapping into human emotions and all the conversations that came with that. It was really fun.
Both characters scour social media, surveillance cameras and more with images blasted onto a giant screen in a courtroom as they try to solve the crime.
And with that, let's move into all the action from World Economic Forum, where global leaders, including NVIDIA chief Jensen Hwang, as well as Microsoft, Satya Nadella, as well as Bill Gates, had various things to say about artificial intelligence. The big news really coming from Davos that Jensen Hwang saying that AI is not a bubble and is indeed going to create jobs. Let's listen in to what these global AI leaders said at the World Economic Forum.
There is a huge concern that AI is going to displace jobs. And you've been arguing the opposite. Obviously, the build-out of AI, as you talked about, the biggest infrastructure build-out in history is going to occur, which
energy is creating jobs. The chips industry is creating jobs. The infrastructure layer is creating jobs. Land, power, and shell. Jobs, jobs, jobs. I mean, right? It's incredible. This is the largest infrastructure build out in human history. That's going to create a lot of jobs, and it's wonderful that the jobs are related to tradecraft, and we're going to have plumbers and electricians and construction and steel workers and network technicians and people who install and fit out the equipment, and all of these jobs. We're going to, in the United States, we're seeing quite a significant boom in this area. The AI bubble comes about because the investments are large. And the investments are large because we have to build the infrastructure necessary for all of the layers of AI above it. And so I think the opportunity is really quite extraordinary. And everybody ought to get involved. Everybody ought to get engaged. We need more energy. I think that we all recognize that. We need more land, power, and shell. We need more trade skill workers. And in fact, that population of workforce is so strong here in Europe.
Yes.
In a lot of ways, the United States lost that in the last 20, 30 years. Yeah. But it's still incredibly strong here in Europe. Infrastructure is a great investment opportunity. This is the single largest infrastructure build out in human history. Yep. Get involved.
My prediction is in the benign scenario of the future that the robots will actually make so many robots in AI that they will actually saturate all human needs. Meaning you won't be able to even think of something to ask the robot for at a certain point. There will be such an abundance of goods and services because my prediction is that there'll be more robots than people.
When people think about AI in healthcare, they're deeply aware that AI is going to help on the discovery side because AI can model complex disease processes and protein shapes, and so it's going to accelerate new tools being available. But I would say it's even more important that AI will be used on the delivery side. And that's true in rich countries, but it's even more true in developing countries where you're never going to have enough doctors or clinicians to deal with the demand manually. And so the AI is entering into the health system, but not just into the health system, it's all the way down to the level of the patient. So the patient is able to talk in their local language and describe what's going on.
There's a fundamental challenge, right? Because unless and until your rate of change keeps up with what is possible, you're going to get schooled by someone small being able to achieve scale because of these tools. So, but I think large organizations have an inherent strength. You have the relationships, you have the data, you have know-how, but the bottom line is if you don't translate that with a new production function, then you really will be stuck. And so therefore the change management challenge for large organizations is going to be bigger. The structural challenge for small organizations of how to overcome scale issues is going to be harder. So it's sort of the two sides. In an interesting way, it's going to be a very competitively intense world. Where neither side, like whether you're a new entrant or an incumbent, can't take it as like I can just coast.